If you're carrying a firearm right now, there is no legal requirement for police to warn you before arresting you. No reminder. No second chance. No, sir, you're in a restricted area. You can be following the law exactly as you understand it, and still go from lawful citizen to handcuffed suspect in seconds. After a Supreme Court ruling, courts have made something very clear. Police do not have to educate you on firearm laws before enforcing them, which means ignorance doesn't protect you. Good intentions don't protect you. And compliance doesn't always protect you either. Most gun owners think the biggest risk is doing something illegal on purpose. But the real danger today is doing something legal yesterday that quietly became illegal today without you ever being notified. And once the arrest happens, it doesn't matter what you meant. It only matters what the system says you violated. In this video, I'm going to show you how this works, what the Supreme Court actually changed, and why thousands of lawful gun owners are now exposed to arrest without warning. If you carry for self-defense, subscribe now. This channel exists to protect your rights before the system takes them. How this actually happens in real life. Let's talk about how this actually happens in the real world. Not in theory, not in law books, but in normal everyday situations where people think they're completely safe. A man leaves a grocery store. He has a valid permit. His firearm is legally owned. He's been carrying this same way for years. Nothing about this moment feels dangerous. No crime scene, no aggressive behavior, no argument with police. Just a normal person, on a normal day, doing what he's always done. Then a police officer approaches him for a routine interaction. The man does what gun owners are told to do. He stays calm, he's respectful, he informs the officer he's armed. 30 seconds later, he's in handcuffs. No warning, no explanation, no chance to correct anything. Just arrested. So what exactly did this man do wrong? Here's the terrifying part. Nothing on purpose. He didn't break the law intentionally, he didn't ignore a sign, he didn't act recklessly. He simply walked into a legal condition that had changed, without his knowledge. And the officer? The officer didn't violate any policy, didn't overstep authority, didn't need to explain anything. The arrest was fully lawful. Most people believe there's some kind of rule that says police have to warn you before arresting you. Like, sir, this is a restricted area. Or, you need to leave or you'll be arrested. That feels reasonable. That feels fair. That feels like how a free society should work. But legally, that rule does not exist. There is no legal obligation for police to educate you on firearm laws, remind you of restrictions, notify you of changes, or give you time to fix anything. Their only obligation is simple. If the law is violated, they can enforce it immediately. Even if you didn't know. Even if you meant well. Even if the rule changed yesterday. The psychological trap. Here's where most lawful gun owners get mentally trapped. They think, I did my research. I follow the law. I'm careful. I stay updated. But the system doesn't operate on effort. It operates on technical compliance. And technical compliance today is not stable. It changes through court rulings, agency interpretations, emergency orders, administrative policies, local enforcement rules, which means you're not living under one clear law. You're living under a moving legal surface, and you can fall through it at any time. And here's the part nobody tells gun owners. The most dangerous violations today aren't obvious ones. They're not about criminal intent, bad behavior, or reckless actions. They're about outdated understanding. You're following the law as it used to be, but being judged under how it's enforced now. And once that gap exists, the system doesn't care how small it is. The hidden truth nobody tells gun owners. Here is the truth most gun owners never hear until it's too late. Police are not required to protect you from breaking the law. They are only required to enforce it. Which means there is no legal concept called, you should have warned me. I didn't know. I meant no harm. I thought it was still legal. Those phrases do not exist in court. They feel human. They feel logical. But legally, they are meaningless. Because the system assumes one thing. You are already responsible for knowing everything. Even when laws change silently, courts reinterpret rules, agencies expand definitions, and enforcement shifts overnight. You are still treated as if you were informed. The core legal reality. Here is the sentence that should make every lawful gun owner pause. There is no constitutional duty for police to educate you before arresting you. Not in federal law. Not in Supreme Court doctrine. Not in most state statutes. Which means the idea of warning is not a right. It is a courtesy. And courtesy disappears the moment enforcement begins. The illusion of protection. Most people think they are protected by permits, licenses, training, compliance. But legally, those only protect you if they are perfectly current. The moment condition changes, a zone expands, a rule is reinterpreted, a database updates, or a court issues guidance, your old compliance becomes invalid. Not morally, not ethically, legally, and no one is required to tell you. The 3-second switch. Here's the terrifying part. There is often no moment where you realize you're in trouble. No dramatic warning, no argument, no second chance. Just this sequence. You're legal, you step into a condition, the system flags a violation, enforcement begins. That's it. No education phase, no transition period, no grace window. Just before, lawful. After, arrested. Why this feels so wrong? This is why these cases feel so unfair to people. Because emotionally, you're thinking, I didn't do anything bad. But legally, the system is thinking, intent is irrelevant. And that gap between human logic and legal logic is where most people get destroyed. Not because they're reckless. Not because they're careless. But because the law no longer cares about mental state. Only technical violation. The real risk isn't crime. The real risk today isn't criminals. It's outdated compliance. It's people living under last year's rules, old interpretations, forum advice, YouTube explanations, or training from before new rulings, while being judged under today's enforcement standards. That's the trap. And it's invisible. Here's the uncomfortable truth this entire video has been building toward. Being a lawful gun owner is no longer a fixed identity. It is a constantly moving status. You don't become compliant once. You have to remain compliant every single day, under rules that change without notice, differ by location, shift by court, and are enforced by discretion. Which means the idea of I'm safe because I follow the law is now an illusion. You're only safe if your understanding of the law matches the system's current interpretation. At that exact moment. Miss it by one update, and warning is not required. Powers police have over gun owners. And here's the part that makes every lawful gun owner sit up straight. Police have extraordinary powers that can affect you instantly. 1. Warrantless entry. Officers can enter your home or property without a warrant if they claim exigent circumstances, such as suspecting a crime in progress, believing there is an immediate threat. You don't get to challenge it on the spot. You don't get a warning. They can see your firearms and use any technical violation as grounds for arrest. 2. Immediate seizure of firearms. Your guns can be taken the moment a violation is suspected, even before charges are filed. Your permits may be flagged or suspended. Your name enters databases that stay there for years. 3. Discretionary interpretation of laws. Police can decide in real time whether a condition counts as a violation. What you thought was legal yesterday can be illegal today. Courts have upheld this discretion in multiple rulings. In real life, police don't just enforce laws, they define which laws apply to you in the moment. The core legal reality. After several Supreme Court rulings, there is no constitutional duty for police to educate you before arresting you. No warning, no guidance, no second chance. Even if you're completely lawful, you are fully subject to enforcement discretion. Don't wait to learn this from an arrest. Subscribe and stay protected.